Now that you've had a chance to look through the slides and you've listened to my synopsis of what happens in each of those slides, I want you to take a look at your story planner. I couldn't print mine out, so I had to draw mine, but it's the same format as yours. I totally understand when you have technical problems at home, it's really annoying, but anyway, here's mine. So I've got story planning here and the title, and I've already filled in Jack and the Beanstalk. Moving on to this box, it says characters. So I have written Jack, the giant, Mum, and that will do for the moment. Settings, I'm going to have Jack's farm. And I'm also going to have the giant's castle. Oops. Giant's castle. So you could draw a little picture just to remind you of Jack's farm and the giant's castle, or you could just jot down some adjectives or words that you're going to use in your big write. So going back to here, where I've written Jack and the giant and Mum, you could draw a little picture of Jack. Just going to draw him here. So I'll just do a little stick drawing. And then the giant, you could draw a big picture of your giant. With a very cross-looking face. And then you could draw Jack's mum. I'm really not doing mine very well, but you'll do much better. And you could say something about Jack. You could say he's poor, and you could say the mum gets cross, and the giant you could put that he's scary and big, just to remind you of some of the adjectives that you've written down this week that will help you with your story that you're going to write tomorrow. So I'm going to draw a quick farmhouse here. And the giant's castle. On that cloud. Okay, so those are my settings. Now moving on to the beginning. So at the beginning of the story, we know that Jack and his mum were poor. I'm going to write that. Jack and his mum poor. Then I'm going to write sells cow. Just writing notes here. Magic beans. And then Beanstalk grows. So you could draw little pictures there to remind you. So there's a picture of the cow. And then the magic beans. And then you could draw the beanstalk starting to grow. And there's the cow, the magic beans, and there's my beanstalk starting to grow. Now what happened in the middle of the story? So this box here says middle, and it says what problem happens. Well, the problem that Jack faces is that he has to hide from the giant. So the giant smells Jack. He hides. Or you might choose a different problem. So the giant smells Jack, he hides, and then you could draw the giant's wife hiding Jack, maybe. There's my giant's wife. And she hides him, I can't remember, she hides him in a bread bin or somewhere, doesn't she? So you could draw a little bread bin on the table. And then you could draw Jack peeping out of that bread bin there. So there's Jack hiding. So that's my problem that happens. And then in the end, how does it get sorted out? Well, Jack steals the, Jack takes the hen, runs down the beanstalk, and then Mum chops it down. Then you could draw your beanstalk all sort of on the ground, and the giant looking very sad on the ground. So that's the ending of my story. Jack takes the hen, runs down the beanstalk, Mum chops it down, and then they all lived happily ever after. So that's what I'd like to see on your plan. Just a rough outline of each area of your story, and then you can colour the pictures, and then keep this because you're going to use this tomorrow to do your big write.